He bought the farmhouse to escape memories of war. But when he heard a floorboard creak behind a locked door, he realized the past hadn't followed him there. Someone else had been hiding, and that discovery would change 3 broken lives forever. Ethan Cross didn't buy the abandoned farmhouse because it was beautiful. He bought it because it was silent. After 15 years as a Navy SEAL, silence was the only thing that didn't demand anything from him. No orders. No explosions. No screams echoing in his head at 3 in the morning. The realtor called the place a fixer-upper with history. Ethan didn't ask what kind of history. He had enough of his own. The farmhouse sat at the edge of a dying town, surrounded by frozen fields and skeletal trees. Windows clouded with dust. A porch sagging with age. To most people, it looked forgotten. To Ethan, it looked safe. He planned to rebuild it slowly, wood, nails, routine. Something solid. Something predictable. The first night, he slept on the floor with his jacket as a pillow, pistol within reach out of habit. The wind rattled the shutters, and the house groaned like it was breathing. Around midnight, he heard it, a soft sound that didn't belong to an empty building. A faint scrape. Then silence. Ethan sat up instantly. Training took over. He moved without sound, heart steady, senses sharp. The noise came again, this time unmistakable, a muffled whimper. Human. Coming from upstairs. He cleared each room methodically until he reached a door at the end of the hall. Locked. Old. Scratches near the handle, as if something, or someone, had tried to get out. "Hello?" he said calmly. "I'm not here to hurt you." Silence. Then a small voice, barely louder than the wind. "Please don't call anyone." Ethan slowly unlocked the door and stepped back. Inside, curled against the wall, was a girl no older than 10. Her hair was tangled, her face smudged with dirt, eyes wide with terror. In her arms, she clutched a trembling dog, skinny, ribs showing, but fiercely alert. She didn't scream. She just watched him like prey watches a hunter. "My name's Ethan," he said, kneeling so he wouldn't tower over her. "I didn't know anyone was here." The girl tightened her grip on the dog. "We won't bother you. We'll leave. I promise." That sentence hit him harder than any bullet ever had. He noticed the empty food wrappers. The blankets dragged from another room. The way she positioned herself between him and the dog. This wasn't a game. She had been surviving. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she whispered. "And this is Max." Max growled low, protecting her with everything he had. Ethan stood slowly and backed away. "I'll make some food," he said. "You don't have to come out. Just don't be scared." As he walked downstairs, something inside him cracked open. He came here to be alone. Instead, the house had given him responsibility. And for the first time in years, the silence felt heavy. That night, as Lily cautiously ate warm soup for the first time in who knew how long, Ethan realized this wasn't just an abandoned farmhouse anymore. It was a crossroads. Lily didn't tell her story all at once. It came in pieces, like broken glass you had to handle carefully. Her mother had died months earlier. No family willing to take her. Social services that felt more frightening than hunger. She ran. The farmhouse became shelter. Max, her only constant. Ethan listened without interrupting. He understood trauma spoken in fragments. He lived in them. Days turned into weeks. Ethan repaired the roof. Lily swept floors. Max followed them both everywhere, slowly learning that Ethan wasn't a threat. Nights were still hard. Lily woke from nightmares, Ethan from memories, but something was different now. When the dark came, they weren't alone. Trouble arrived in the form of flashing lights one cold morning. A neighbor had noticed smoke from the chimney. The sheriff came with questions. Lily panicked. She hid under the stairs, shaking. Ethan stood between her and the door. "This is my house," he said firmly. "And she's under my care." Paperwork followed. Interviews. Long waits filled with fear that everything they'd built would be taken away. But Ethan didn't back down. He attended meetings, filed for guardianship, spoke about responsibility, about redemption, about how sometimes people don't need saving, they need choosing. Months later, the ruling came through. Lily stayed. The farmhouse changed with the seasons. Fresh paint. A garden. Laughter echoing where silence once ruled. Ethan still had scars. Lily still had fears. But Max slept peacefully at their feet, proof that safety was real. One evening, as snow fell gently outside, Lily looked up at Ethan and said, "You didn't have to help us." Ethan smiled softly. "Neither did you. But you stayed." That was the truth. They had rescued each other. And the abandoned farmhouse, once a place of hiding, became a home built not from perfection, but from courage, patience, and the quiet power of choosing love over fear. Inspiring ending message. Sometimes the thing you're running from leads you exactly where you're meant to be. And sometimes saving someone else is the first step toward saving yourself.